Hey everybody, and welcome to Fergie 3D. I'm your host Fergie, and this is Fixing Your Model 2.0. Hey guys, I gotta apologize. I uploaded my video real quick today, and when I went back and looked, all the work I did was kind of a white blur. I realized that YPLA is not a good medium to use a video for when you're looking at correcting models. So I got some benchies here that need to be fixed. You see that this one, the whole top is just stringy, and on this one, right along the side here, there's a layer that didn't print out. So let's go ahead and fix these up. The first thing we're going to do is apply super glue. And remember I said you take super glue, there we go, and some white powder. I'm using flour, so what I'm going to do is put super glue in the crack, generous amount. Take some flour and put it on there. Here we go. And they should mix together with the binding agent and then be very strong and give you the texture you need so that you can sand it later on. Need more than that. Let me give it a dab there. There we go. As you can see, you're going to want to put something down, a cloth or something, because this is going to make a mess. There we go. So I made a paste out of the glue. We'll let that put that aside and let that dry, and we'll check that out a little bit later on. So the next thing we were using to fix is spackle. So I happen to have some spackle right here, and with spackle you do need some water to thin it out, or all you're going to have is a white paste. So I tried up a little bit from when we used it. Let me open that up. And get some of that out of there. There we go. Alright, let me squeeze some out. Mine is really dried out, but I did get some. There we go. So I have some spackle. And we're going to apply it to this side here. Now if you notice, my spackle's kind of dried out and it's kind of pasty, I think. So what you do is you stick your finger in a little bit of water and then just let it go over the top of the spackle, pushing in a little bit as you go. And you can see that the spackle is slightly liquefied. There we go. So now instead of being all pasty, it's a nice smooth liquid. And if you smooth it out just right, it does mean that you won't have to sand it as much as you do your other models when you're just using filler. So that's what that looks like. This is best if you're going to put it on white PLA and you're not going to be sanding it or handling it too much because when it dries, it is still very soft, and if you handle it incorrectly or put a fingernail into it, it will leave a mark, and you'll have to go back and start the process all over again, which is why I happen to like this plastic wood. With the plastic wood, it dries in a hard plastic form, which means that if you're going to paint or sand it quite a lot or layer it on there, it's easy to do. And will stand up to the abuse very well. So this one, you just take your finger, get it just a little bit wet, get some of this on your finger here. Notice that this is kind of thick as well. So I'm going to put it on here like this. There we go. And then I'm going to put my finger in the water. And I'm just going to smooth that out like this. So the finish is very similar to the spackle. There we go. It's just that it could take more abuse and more handling, because when you're doing a big model with lots of detail painting, it's good for peace of mind to know that you can do it without ruining what you just fixed. Now it's been about an hour. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. You're going to notice that, there we go. the spackle has actually shrunk up as it dries out. So that's what you'll see here is you can see some of the ridges here which dried out and pulled away from some of the places we wanted to fill. And the plastic has not. So the plastic, because it's a plastic-based filler, doesn't shrink up like the spackle does. We'll take a quick sand on this. There we go. It's still a little bit wet, but you can see that as we sand this down, you will see the ridges stick out, and then the spaces in between where it filled in will have the color. As I ring my finger across this, it's pretty smooth, although it looks really rough to the naked eye. So this was Filling a Crack 2.0. I do apologize for the first video because I know that it was just a white blob. That's the last time I'll use white models from YPLA. That's for sure. Well, I do appreciate you looking at the update of this and watching Fergie 3D. I'm your host Fergie, and you have a great night.